Preliminarily, to establish the route, we'll get the proper deeds from the client for all the tracks involved so that we can give that corner information to our crews.
Generally, we start with a KML file of a preliminary route, and we start gathering data. We'll gather surface ownership, we'll gather road data, land grid data.
Going down to the county and getting the tax map information from them, or railroad commission, and getting the existing pipelines.
Basically do as much reconnaissance as we can on the proposed route as possible.
Putting all that together in ArcGIS, we've been able to use it to cut the sheets and put together a very preliminary package for the client that they can review.
With collaboration between the client, our project manager, and even those our surveyors on the ground to make sure that the route is correct, this is the best route possible. Once we get all the data in from that route, that's where we'll start with go ahead and having our drafting department draw up all of the easement plats necessary for filing.
Everyone is more educated now, and people want more accurate numbers. They want more precise numbers, and they want to see where that pipeline is going to be in their property. A lot of landowners don't want you going through the middle of their property. They would like you to follow a boundary line, or stay away from this house, or even this deer stand. So it can. Some are pretty picky. Some just they'll let you do what you need, but just try to be respectful to my land. We try to look out for the public as well as provide a good product for our client.
Our GIS department, our full GIS department, they really take care of making sure that the client, both from the beginning, at the beginning and the end, and has a product that they can always log on to from anywhere and see where we are on the survey.
Several of our users have actually made landscape their GIS system, and they fully embraced it, and they have us load everything that we survey for them into landscape, for everything from well locations to units and to pipelines, and it's their entire one-stop shop. And they use it not only internally, but they share that with their contractors, and they provide access to their contractors to landscape. And for the life of a project, they use it as a management tool and an information tool to gather everything that they need to know about that job.
And we can link files to it, be it the line list that is provided by the right-of-way company that also has plenty of information. We can tag our drawings to it that the client can get at any time. It's fully customizable to that point.
They can go straight to the website rather than looking for an email. They can click on one tract, pull up the plat, download the plat or print it off, go straight to the landowner with it. It's at their fingertips that way.
At any time.
The first thing we do is we go and get the controls set up, and then we'll start surveying, doing the boundary survey and picking the route so we can then produce property plats so the right-of-way groups can go secure the right-of-way. So we do a lot of surveying at the start. Just the survey crew setting their base up, getting ready to start collecting data.
Getting their measure ups to make sure that the elevations are going to be correct on the pipeline shots they collect.
After we stake the line, they're stringing the pipe out and getting it ready for us to start tallying the pipe.
The shipment comes in, the pipe hits the ground. They have the manuscript from the manufacturer. We're talking to the inspector on the ground, and then they start tallying the pipe.
462. We usually number it on either end of the pipe, 3 feet back from the end, in case they cut a pup off of it to move to another location. The welders are getting ready to clamp the two ends of the pipe together to actually make their weld.
Then they clean the pipe up so they can get a good weld on it. And right there you've got like some outside clamps so you can clamp the pipe together.
They have to line it up pretty good before they can weld it. If it's not in direct contact when they lift that pipe up, the stress will crack that weld and bust it apart.
And the welders will kind of tack it, get it where it's not going to come apart. This right here, that's an inside pipe clamp. What they'll do is they'll slide that down, and you'll see it's got a little handle on the end. When they slide that pipe up there and they've got it just right, that handle, they click it in place, and it's just the same thing as an outside clamp, but they're clamping it on the inside. And then you'll see they'll unclamp it, and then they pull it down to the next one. Then the welder's helper, he usually goes through, grinds all the slag out of it, and cleans up with the grinder, cleans that pipe so they can get a real good weld on it.
In some cases, if they use the welding machine, it'll just be a really thin tack weld all the way around just to hold it together in place. And then welders come back with a much thicker weld.
And of course, they're just ditching right there. Got a guy measuring it. They have minimum depths that they have to maintain.
Normal coverage for a pipe that size is 4 foot below the natural ground elevation.
Now you got them lowering in the pipe. It's amazing how that pipe will bend. It looks like a string. You know, you wouldn't think that pipe would bend. Then there's your guy that's jeeping the line. After they've welded it, they'll go in and coat where they've welded it. And then this jeep machine, it's grounded to the pipe that'll arc through there. If there's any kind of a pinhole, it'll arc and make a noise. And as that goes over the pipe, if the pipe has any little pinhole or anything that could corrode, it'll make a noise.
Usually they carry sticks of the abrasion-resistant overcoat, sticks where they can actually melt over the bad spots to cover up the impurities.
He's going to heat that stick up, he's going to fix that place, and then they'll go on down.
And they will run that across every joint throughout the entire pipeline. And here's where our guys are getting GPS locations on the weld, as well as recording the x-ray numbers, the welder's initials, and any pertinent pipe information that may be written on the pipe itself. We'll use all this information later to put together a spreadsheet and station sheet showing our client exactly at what distance, depth, and what type of pipe is at any given location throughout the line.
Yeah, they take a GPS shot on each weld. Most of what you see in the field video is them collecting all of the information about that piece of pipe, from manufacturer, where the plant was, who shipped it, what the heat number that the manufacturing process made, whether it was spiral rolled, who welded it, so who's accountable if a weld fails, the X-ray team, all that stuff they collect in the field.
If they need to know where each piece of pipe's at, then that's where we came in, and we've got it all recorded. And that's where we have our survey inspectors. They get the data first. They make sure it's all there. They look at all the data, and then they put it together and send it into the office. And then we take our alignment sheets and we create as-built alignment sheets. We also have a spreadsheet that collects all the data, the heat numbers, the X-rays, sometimes the welders. All of that information comes on a spreadsheet that we provide to the client.
So the first thing when it comes in, we'll take it and pull it into AutoCAD in its raw format and make sure, one, on a daily basis, they're within their easement. They're building the pipe where they're supposed to. Rectifying the three-dimensional information, which you're doing an as-built, you're dealing with a pipe under the ground doing this, doing this, doing this. Well, every bend up or down either shortens or lengthens the overall length of the project.
At the end of the day, they still want to know how much pipe is in the ground.
We've come a long ways from when we first started, and it's easy for me to try to go to somebody and sell Topographic because we've got such a good group of guys and very dedicated. We've got good project managers. They're all dedicated to the job. I don't think anybody has a better group of people right now than what Topographic has, and it's just the dedication to do what the client wants, please the client. We respond to whatever they want. We try to get it done on time. We'll have guys that will stay all night long just to get something out for them. And so I think that's just that's been Topographic from as long as I've been there. This will be 32 years for me. So it's easy for me to go talk to somebody and say, I promise you, if you use Topographic, we're going to do everything that we can to take care of it.